If you guys haven't joined the Discord server just yet, do me a favor. Go down and follow the link down in the description below and join this awesome Discord server. More and more people are joining every single day. I'm talking to more people every single day about amazing comic books, and I'm just having a ton of fun. So guys, come have fun with me. Let's talk about comics. Let's talk about new comic book day comics, final order cutoff, amazing cover lover picks, anything that you guys want to talk about comic book wise, let's talk about it. Link down in the description below for that Discord server link. It's a ton of fun, and again, a huge thanks to Omar, which is a subscriber to the channel, and he does have his own YouTube channel, Go to Collectibles. Again, link down in the description below for helping me put this Discord server together. But guys, join it, let's talk comics, let's have fun, and let's go ahead and dive into today's video. What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back yet to another Wednesday pull list, which is your hype video for new comic book day, which is tomorrow, which is Wednesday, February 7th of 2024. Guys, we're in the first week of February already. It's insane how fast time goes by. And right now, I'm home alone, which is so sad. 70 flew to California for work, and she's gonna be there all week, so I'm home alone with the kids. Me with the kids. It's gonna be a lot, but I can handle it. Breathe deep, read some comics. I'm gonna get through this. I'm playing this new game called Pal World with my son Jack. It's a ton of fun. It's like Pokemon, but with like you get Gatling guns and stuff. Crazy. But it's crazy. It's fun. It's really a lot of fun. But we're not here to talk about Pal World or video games. No, we're here to check out my pull list. Now, as you guys can see, this is a decent sized pull list, especially when you compare it to last week's. Last week was a little small, this one's a little bit bigger, and next week's gonna be an absolute doozy. I don't know how I'm gonna get through it, but we're not talking about next week, we're talking about this week. And you guys can't see what those are, so let me go ahead and throw them up on screen right now. Guys, there are 18 total books on my pull list, and there are 3 new number ones, even though one is a 0, but we're gonna go ahead and say that is a number 1 as well. Now, I did read all the previous issues to the books that you see on screen right now, so I'm all caught up on all these storylines, but if we break down this list a little bit more, there are 5 DC books on my pull list, 4 Marvel, and 9 independent. That's right, if you add DC and Marvel, they are the exact same amount as the amount of indies I'm picking up this week. Indies were amazing this week, and all the books were really good, so there are no books on the chopping block. So we can go ahead and move right over to the next section, which is my cover liver picks. This is an overall light week for cover liver picks. I kind of like it when there's like 15 or 20 covers that are just absolutely amazing. I am a cover lover. I like picking up comic books just for the cover art, but I also like it when it's a smaller amount. So that way my wallet is not completely crushed every single week just with cover lover picks. But guys, let's cover the 6 covers that I found on this week's new comic book day that I just absolutely love. And the first one up is Batman issue number 142, the cover D variant done by Greg Tocchini. I want to say that's how it's pronounced, but this cover is just really cool. You got Batman on the top of a building, and he's kind of like leaning off the ledge of a gargoyle, and he has his little like batarang on a rope hanging, and I just love the art style on this cover. It's absolutely gorgeous. Now next up is an amazing Boss Logic cover. This is Ultimate Black Panther issue number 1 with the Ultimate Special variant cover done by Boss Logic. Now I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be the character of Maystorm, but I don't want to put my foot in my mouth and have that not be it. So this is just a really great cover for Ultimate Black Panther issue number 1. I have not read it, but I have got my fingers crossed that this is going to be just as good as Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 1. Now guys, up next is my favorite cover of the week with Birds of Prey issue number 6, the cover D variant done by Pablos Villalobos. I'm so excited that this cover is finally coming out. I've been talking about this cover ever since this cover was released on previews months ago. Yeah, this cover is absolutely fantastic. It's Pablos Villalobos, like, just taking these characters from the Birds of Prey and making them look so freaking amazing. Now, next up is another cover done by Pablos Villalobos. This is The Sensational She-Hulk, issue number 5. Now, there is a trade dress version of this, and there's also a 1 in 100 virgin variant of this cover. If I can get my hands on the 1/100 for a decent price, I would consider buying it, but most likely I'm just going to pick up multiple copies of the trade dress because, yeah, that's what I can afford at the moment right now. But this She-Hulk cover is fantastic. It is so good. Now, this next cover up, some of you might be shaking your head, be like, why this one? Well, it's because there is a Batman version of this coming out as well. But this is Superman 78, The Metal Curtain, issue number 4, the cover C variant, which is the 1:25 ratio variant done by Hayden Sherman. Now, like I mentioned just before I showed this cover, there is a cover for Batman 89 that's coming out. I think it's Batman 89 Echoes, either number 4 or number 5, which is a 1:25 ratio variant done by Hayden Sherman, where Batman's swinging between two buildings, and if you put these next to each other, like the lines go like this, and you get your favorite two characters, Batman and Superman, swinging through buildings, or, you know, Superman's flying up buildings, but still, it is so cool. I really like both of these covers a lot, and Hayden Sherman just, like, knocked these out of the park. They're so good. All right, guys, those are my cover lover picks for this week. Let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which is my new number 1 that you guys just have to be excited about. Now, like I said during my pull list section, there are 3 new number 1s on my pull list, but I picked out my favorite from those 3 to talk to you guys about, and I am super pumped for this book, and I have my fingers crossed that it's going to be as good as Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 1, and that is Ultimate Black Panther issue number 1. That this is coming from the writer of Brian Hill and has art by Stefano Casilli. And I got my fingers crossed, guys. I got my fingers crossed that they can make this character and this book as cool and as exciting as Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 1. But let me go ahead and read the synopsis for this book, and then you guys can make your own decisions for yourself. The new Ultimate Black Panther. In the wake of Ultimate Invasion, Khonshu and Ra, the force known together as Moon Knight, are seeking to expand their brutal control of the continent of Africa. In response, the lone bulwark against them, the isolated nation of Wakanda, will send forth its champion, its king, the Black Panther. From the creative minds of Brian Hill and Stefano Casilli comes a bold new take on the world of Black Panther in Wakanda. I'm really, really excited for this. I believe we're also going to get a new wife to the Black Panther in this issue. There's just some things going for it. And he's going to go up against Moon Knight, who is a bad guy, I guess, because he's trying to take over Africa. I don't know. There's a lot of really cool things going for this book, except for the variant covers. Except for that Boss Logic one. That one is absolutely badass. The rest of them are just kind of like, okay. There's nothing really to write home about. The 1 in 10 design variant is okay, and the rest of them, again, are just okay, except for that Boss Logic. But we don't even have Ultimate Black Panther on the cover. We got some other character. Either way, I'm really excited for this book. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this new book down in the comments below. Maybe use that as your comment for your entry into this week's giveaway, and just leave the hashtag #ILoveComicBooks. I'm excited for the Ultimate Black Panther because XYZ, hashtag I love comic books. That's all you gotta do. All right, guys, that is the new number 1. Let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which are the top 3 books that I think you guys have to be reading this week because the stories are so freaking good. All right, guys, in the number 3 spot is a book that you gotta be 18 plus to be picking up. It is risque, there's nudity, there's sex, there's all the things that you need to be 18 to be reading this book. So, if you're a kid, definitely do not be picking this book up. But if you're an adult and you want to read something a little racy, a little good, this might be the book for you. Guys, I'm talking about Crave issue number 3. Comes out this week. It's from the writer-artist Maria Lovelet. And guys, this book is really interesting. It's really good. It's definitely really sexy, really racy. But the story at heart is really interesting. It's all about people's wants and desires and our cravings. And it focuses on a college. And what are college kids craving the most? They want attention. They want to be known and they want to be seen and they want sex. Those are like everything that a college kids want. Yes, higher education and things like that. But there's so many hormones just like, you know, just turning and burning in these 18 to 24-year-old kids. And there's this app that you can like download and then install and then use that help you get your cravings or help you get to the point where you can like satisfy your cravings. And everyone's cravings so far are sexual cravings, and it's really intense, But there was a character in this book, which I think is the creator of this Crave app, which told his two friends or his two roommates not to use the Crave app. And what did they do? They both used it, of course. And the whole campus is going absolutely insane. There's sex just happening in the hallways and everywhere else. And then we have our main character. And then something happened with him, and it's interesting. And I'm really excited to see issue number 3. The artwork in this book is fantastic. It's like sketchy, but also very sexy and beautiful. I'm really enjoying some of these covers for this book. It's just a really interesting book, getting at the heart of a lot of feelings that we have as, like, you know, a humanity. Like, we all want to be seen. We all want someone to be able to see us. And we all, you know, we have wants, we have desires, we have needs. And this book goes into all of those and what people want. It's interesting. I really like it. I liked it so much. I put it on the top 3 list, y'all. You gotta be checking this book out if you're 18 plus. If you're 18 plus. But guys, that is my number 3 book. I hope you guys really take my my review at heart and you give this book a shot, because it is really good in my opinion. I liked it a lot. All right, guys, that is the number 3 book. Let's go ahead and find out what my number 2 is. Our number 2 book this week is the one and only book from the 2 big publishers to make the top 3 list this week. And guys, this is probably one of the best ongoing series at DC Comics right now. And it's a story about a villain. A Batman villain, and it's so good. Guys, I'm talking about Poison Ivy, issue number 19, comes out this week. This is coming from the amazing writer of G. Willow Wilson and has amazing art by Marcio DeCara. Now, I do want to point out that the last 2 or 3 issues have had fill-in artists on the book, and that definitely hurt the story a lot. The fill-in artists, in my opinion, weren't very good, and it distracted from the story a little bit. But I read issue number 18 yesterday, and what I can tell you about this story and about this run from G. Willow Wilson is that the story is a progressive story. It's building upon itself with every single issue. And issue number 18 ended with like this big culmination of an event that happened like a way long time ago. And it was so freaking cool. And I also love how Poison Ivy has changed from the beginning of issue number 1, where she was so mad at the world. She was so mad and pissed off. And she was going to go across the country, drive across the United States of America, just poisoning the whole United States with these spores, these mushrooms, and kill as many people as she could, so that way she could restart, like, you know, the green. And then halfway across the country, she started like changing her mind and having like this whole change of heart, because she kept on meeting these really cool people. I know I've said this before, but this story is continuing upon itself, because now there's repercussions for her actions back in that first story arc and along the way. And there's more repercussions, not just for the first story arc, but the second story arc, because she's human. Even though she's a supervillain, she has these like green powers, she's a human and makes mistakes. And when you make mistakes, and they are big mistakes, they come back and there are repercussions. And she's dealing with that. Poison Ivy, Pamela Isley, is dealing with that in this issue. And I also love the supporting characters that are with her right now, Killer Croc and Solomon Grundy. They are bringing something to the story that is really, really cool. And also the HR lady, she's super funny. And there's just a lot of heart in this book, and it's really good. We're 18 or about to be 19 issues in, and I'm still loving this book. They're not just cover lever buys. No, this is a solid ongoing story from G. Willow Wilson. It's fantastic. I love to see the character growth of Poison Ivy. It's so good. And in issue number 19, if you read the synopsis, we're supposed to get a new, I shouldn't say new, we're going to get the true origin story of Pamela Isley, Poison Ivy, which is really exciting. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this character, because she's definitely evolving and changing, and something crazy happened at the end of issue number 18. This is just a fantastic book. And when we have Marcio DeCara on the book, it is just like so good. So good. Now, the variant covers for this issue aren't fantastic. The David Nakayama, there's always a David Nakayama, is pretty good. It's not my favorite. There is a trade dress and then a 1 in 50 Virgin if you're into that. And the other ones are just okay. That 1 in 25 is terrible. Terrible, in my opinion. What were they thinking putting that as the 1 in 25? Just make the David Nakayama the 1 in 25, because that shouldn't have been a cover, period, in my opinion. Guys, what do you think about this cover up on screen right now? Do you like it? Do you not like it like I don't? Guys, let me know down in the comments below. But this, truly, guys, is a must-have pickup book. It's so good. Pick up the trades, get caught up. Let's enjoy Poison Ivy together. All right, guys, that is my number 2 book. Let's go ahead and find out what the number 1 book that I'm most excited to pick up and read this week is. The number 1 book that I am most excited to pick up and read is Pine and Merrimack issue number 2. Now, this is coming from the writer of Kyle Starks and has art by Fran Galan. And guys, this book was a complete and utter surprise to me. I was originally not going to pick this book up, but I was out hunting at one of my local comic book shops, and they had the J. Lee Virgin variant for this, and I'm like, you know what, I'll pick this up, and there's a cover A right there. Let me just throw that in together. Maybe I'll put this in a giveaway. Maybe I'll just read it and enjoy it. Who knows? And then I read it. And now I'm sucked in. Now I am just fully invested in this book because it was so freaking good. Now, the basis of the story sounds a little funny. We got a detective who marries a MMA fighter. That was like, you know, that was one of the selling points. A detective and an MMA fighter. I was like, why do I care about an MMA fighter? Why is that even part of the story? Who cares? Well, that MMA fighter did some really cool shit in issue number 1. Like, it was awesome. It was so cool. And the detective in this is really cool. We start off with finding out about her heartbreaking history as a kid where she loses her sister, and it's traumatic, and that's what forces her, or I should say, that was the catalyst for her to become a detective. She becomes a hardened detective, but then she falls in love with this MMA fighter, and then they move to this small town where she grew up, and they start their own detective agency, and then we get to find out a little bit more about their relationship, and it's really cool because he is like utterly and madly in love with her, and that's how I feel about my Stephanie. She is like the best human being in the world. I will do anything for her. And maybe that's why I was connected with this book so well, because I have a similar relationship with my wife. And it's just fantastic. Even though Stephanie's not a badass detective, she's a badass in other ways, but she's not a badass detective like the main character of Leanna is in this book. It was so cool. I don't want to say too much more about it because there's definitely like a mystery building in it, because they get this case and the husband was like, we don't do that kind of case. And she's like, you know what, we're going to do this case. And then some like, you know, dark secrets start coming out and they get in and over their heads, and it's going to be really good, I feel. And guys, before I say anything else, I got to talk about the art in this book by Fran Galan. I've never seen Fran Galan's artwork before, I don't think. It was awesome. It was perfect for this book. It was so good. If I can find some preview pages for issue number 1 or issue number 2, I'll make sure I will have shared them by this point because they are so good. I have to share those with you guys. Now, they're also doing the cover A's and I believe the 1 in 10. Yeah, the cover C, which is the 1 in 10, which is just a version of the cover A. But guys, this book, if you like a mystery type book with a badass like husband-wife in it together, this is the book for you. It was so good. I loved it. It had great pacing, great dialogue, just a home run of a story. Kyle Starks, I haven't read a lot of your stuff in the past, but this one is a home freaking run. Be very proud of yourself for writing this book. It is so good. At least issue number 1. I'm really excited to get my hands on issue number 2. Now, the variants for this, I'm all over the place. I apologize. I'm just really excited about this book. The cover B is okay. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Kind of has a Jenny Frison feel to it, but it's not Jenny Frison. I like the cover C, which again is that 1 in 10 ratio, which is the version, and then I have a Tula Latte 1 in 25 ratio, which I don't personally like. Tula Latte is a fantastic artist. I just don't personally like this 1 in 25. All right, guys, that is the number 1 book that I think you guys have to be picking up this week because the story is so good. But let's go ahead and find out what books did not make the top 3 list. We're talking about the not top 3, but the books you gotta see. Now, with my pull list being 18 books, there are a lot of books to cover, so I'm going to go pretty quickly. But these stories were all really good because there were no books on the chopping block this week. But let's go ahead and dive right in. First up is The Avengers issue number 10 from Jed MacKay. This story continues just to be okay. I'm probably getting to a point pretty quick that I am going to cut this book because it's not super exciting. There are some cool things happening, but the Avengers are now facing a second team just like them. In the first story arc, they faced a team of bad guys where each Avenger had to like fight a foe, kind of like themselves, and they're doing it again. Jed McKay, what's going on, man? Moon Knight is so freaking good. Doctor Strange is so freaking good. Made the Avengers so freaking good. Next up, Batman issue number 142. Chip Zdarsky's run is finally starting to hit its stride. It's all coming together, and I'm starting to really enjoy it. Now, the Joker is being added into this complete madness that is Chip Zdarsky's run. So guys, strap in. Batman is about to get a little nutty. Next up, Birds of Prey, issue number 6. I gotta tell you guys, issue number 5 kind of sucked. I read it. I did not like it. It felt different. They had a different artist on the book, and the story just felt off to me. I didn't enjoy it. I almost fell asleep like 3 times trying to read it. I don't know. It's not on the chopping block because I enjoyed the previous 4 issues, but I don't know. Issue number 5 was a little weird. Next up, The Call, issue number 5. This is the final book of this series. The artwork in this story is like, I shouldn't say story. The artwork in this comic book is like mind-blowingly good. It is so fantastic. It's gorgeous. The colors, the line work, everything. And the story is really interesting. It's kind of out there and wacky. I'm not going to go into the detail, but if you guys want to just look at a gorgeous freaking book, this is a book for you. Next up, Dark Spaces Dungeon, issue number 3. Issue number 2 was fantastic. This book almost made the top 3 list. I was deciding between this and Crave, but since I haven't spoken about Crave before, Crave made the list. But Dungeon is a very creepy, like, murder mystery story. It is really good. Scott Snyder, really good. Next up, Doctor Strange, issue number 12. Issue number 11 was weird. It was a one-shot. I did not like it, but again, Jed McKay is still on this title. It's fantastic. It's been really good. 10 of the previous issues have been absolutely fantastic. So make sure you guys are reading this book. It's just Clea Strange, Doctor Strange together. And it's like this love story is so good. And the Wand in it, Wand is like this new offshoot of the magic of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's like the magic team of S.H.I.E.L.D. And they got 3 amazing characters. Wong, oh man, I forgot. He's like this crazy guy with like psychedelics and like hair and craziness. He's so good. And then this other character, all great characters. I can't think of them off the top of my head because I'm trying to go fast and I'm screwing up and I'm mumbling. And let's move forward. Next up is Ghost Lore issue number 8. This is a really cool ghost story book from Cullen Bunn. It's horror, it's different, and I like it, but I don't love it. I like it, and I'm going to continue reading it because I want to see where this story is going to go. But we got these people that can see ghosts and interact with ghosts, and then we get these other people who are using these ghosts as like kind of like weapons, kind of. I don't know. It's crazy. It's interesting, but it's not great. But it's not terrible, but it's not great. Next up, Gone, issue number 2. Now, this is from Jock. He's doing the writing. He's doing the art. It's from Distillery, and it was good. Wasn't fantastic, but it was good. It's an oversized type books, and it was just a interesting story about a girl set way off into the future. Her family is starving, they need food, and there are like these big luxury spaceships that go off into space, and she went on the ship and she was gonna try to like steal some food, put it in an escape pod, and shoot it out so that way that she can ride the escape pod back down to Earth. But then craziness happens and she gets stuck on this ship, and then more craziness happens. So guys, it's really cool. It's from Jock, and it's my first and only Distillery book, so that was pretty good. Next up is Kaya, issue number 15, a fantastic ongoing series from Wes Craig. He's doing the writing, he's doing the art. It's really cool. Read this book. It is fantastic. Next up, Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, issue number 12. Now, we're getting really close, and this might even be the final issue of this series, but it's crazy. It is so out there. It's Jason Aaron, but good Jason Aaron, like really good Jason Aaron. I've loved this series from the get-go. That middle story arc was a little weak. We're on the 3rd and final story arc, but the first one was fantastic. This last one is fantastic. I cannot wait to see where this book is going to go. It is wacky. Next up is Red Hood, The Hill, issue number 0. I'm just really excited for the Red Hood book. I am a big Red Hood fan. Issue number 1 is coming out, I believe, next month, and it's going to have art by Sanford Green, and I'm really, really excited about that. After that is the Sensational She-Hulk, issue number 5. This is just a popcorn comic book. It is so good, so lighthearted. It's not super heavy. We have lots of comedy, lots of action. It is fantastic. It is so good. And I love the relationship that the building between Jack of Hearts and She-Hulk. And yeah, it is a must-have read, guys. It is so good. Next up, Shazam, issue number 8, Mark Waid. I'm not sure if Dan Mora is back. Let me go ahead and click on that. Dan Mora is not back. We have Gorhan Suduka. I want to say that's how you pronounce that. I'm probably totally butchering it. Again, just a popcorn comic book. It is so much fun. You could definitely read this with your kids. It's kid-friendly, and I'm just having a ton of fun with it. It's not the best book in the world. 100% not the best book in the world. I'm not like screaming at the rooftops, read Shazam! But if you got some kids and you want to get them into comic books, this is probably a good book to read with them because it is a lot of fun. Now, there are 2 more books. We have Thundercats. Actually, no, this is the last book. Thundercats issue number 1. I am really hesitant to be excited about this book because I've seen the interior art and it is not good. The writing could be really good because the writer is going to be Delkin Shavli, but the art that I've seen so far by Drew Moss is not good. Not good at all. And that takes away about the excitement of what could be in an amazing Thundercats book. So I'm really hesitant to be really excited because I really want to be excited. I loved Thundercats when I was a kid. I loved them so much. But guys, if you want to have a book with too many variants, this is that book. There are so many variants. There's no way I could download every single image and put them up all on the screen. Even if I talk for like 20 minutes, there's still too many covers. So I'm only going to show the cover A. It's really good. It's from David Nakayama. Are you guys really excited for this book? I'm really hesitant to get excited because I have a feeling it's going to be pretty bad. But if you guys are, guys, let me know down in the comments below. Also, if any of you have read a preview for this book and it is really good, please let me know down in the comments below because I really want to be excited for this book. All right, guys, that is the not top 3, but the books you gotta see. And that's the end of today's video. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up and find out who won last week's giveaway. All right, guys, we are at the end of today's video, and if you guys have watched from the first frame all the way to this frame right here, and you're gonna continue to the end, I'm just gonna let you guys know, you guys are legends. Thank you guys so much for sticking around for this whole entire video. I truly, truly appreciate it. Now, everyone, look down. If you guys hit that like button just yet, if you haven't, do me a favor and smash that like button. Now, if you guys watch that video and you guys enjoy comic book content and you like this kind of madness coming from this kind of guy like me and you're not subscribed to the channel, I'm just gonna ask, what are you doing? Get yourself subscribed, hit that bell for notifications, and smash that like button. Okay. I always do that little intro, or I should say outro, to this video, but you guys just want to find out who won last week's giveaway. So let's go ahead and cut up close and find out who won last week's giveaway. Alright guys, you know how we do this. First we go to Bruce and Stephanie Comics and we find last week's must-have pickups. And we go there. We should call it the Wednesday pull list, because that's what it's called. And then we copy, and then we go to the site right here, we paste the URL, and then we're going to hit fetch. Not anything goes. We always use the keyword filter, hashtag I love comic books. Then we hit continue. We find out how many of you left comments with that hashtag. There was 54. We're going back up. There are more people commenting on the video, which is so exciting. Now, this is the moment, guys. This is the moment where we find out who won last week's giveaway. And let's go ahead and do that. I just want to thank again everyone who left a comment with the hashtag. You guys are just the best. Let's go ahead and find out. In 3, 2, 1. There is Tough Medicine. Tough Medicine, congratulations. You left a comment. That pull list is starting to look like a reasonable size. Well, just wait until next week, Tough Medicine. But congratulations! Tough Medicine, congratulations! Now, what I need you to do is to go over to Instagram and slide into our DMs and give us your address, and I will get your winnings shipped out to you in like 2 to 3 weeks about. And yeah, just congratulations one more time, and thank you for being such an awesome supporter of this channel. Now, if you're interested in entering next week's giveaway, you need to do these 4 easy and simple things. Everyone should be doing them. Number 1, be subscribed to the channel. Number 2, live in the United States of America. Number 3, leave a comment on this video right here. And number 4, with that comment, leave the hashtag I love comic books. And that's it. That's all you need to do to get an entry into next week's giveaway. And that's it. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, I might only have 2 videos for you this week. I'm going to try for 3, but most likely only 2. So I might only see you guys on Thursday or Friday, and that's going to be it. I know, it's sad for everyone. Alright guys, you guys have yourself a great new comic book day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.